Welcome to PMP Exam Mindset, Day 20. We're talking about the process domain and task 6, plan and manage schedule. The great Peter F. Drucker said time is the scarcest resource, and unless it is managed, nothing else can be managed. True words. And that is why whenever anyone says, I'm a project manager, there's an expectation that you're good at managing time. You're good at getting people in that rank and file. The scheduling chapter in our book, PMP Exam Immersion, examines the processes and tools used to develop, maintain, and adhere to a project schedule. It emphasizes the importance of defining activities, sequencing them effectively, and managing time to deliver project outcomes promptly. Agile scheduling, on the flip side, is dynamic. It focuses on short iterations or sprints that allow the teams to adapt the schedule based on the work completed and feedback received, aiming to deliver the most value in the shortest time. Now, just to get you headed in the right direction, let's talk about scheduling a little bit more detail. Go into this image that many of you know so well. In the world of scheduling, we have 6 things that are done. And I want to talk about these one by one. First one is you have to plan how to manage the schedule. This will develop a schedule management plan. Second thing is to define the activities in the project. Defining the activities doesn't mean they have to be in order. They could be out of order at this point. But step 3 is to then put them in some logical order of occurrence, which one happens first, which one next. Then you estimate how long each activity will take. When you're done with that, you put everything together and then you see the full picture of your schedule. How long will the entire project take? Considering resources, considering shortages, considering all the human equipment, material supplies, and facility type of resources. And the final thing that happens in scheduling all throughout the project is you are controlling the schedule, checking and taking action if the schedule is not on track, corrective action, preventive action, and things like that. Now, moving into our true or false questions for today. Number 1, agile schedules are set in stone at the beginning of the project. Well, being that it's agile, you should know that this is false. Agile schedules are dynamic and adaptive, they're not fixed. While there's a high level roadmap, detailed planning happens incrementally in sprints. The schedule can be adjusted based on new information, feedback, and changes in priority, reflecting Agile's embrace of change. Number 2, true or false? Sprint planning is unnecessary in Agile as the work is done on the fly. Again, false. Sprint planning is a crucial Agile ceremony where the team collaboratively plans the work for the upcoming sprint. Now, I know some people will split hairs saying ceremony versus event, whatever you want to call it, right? But in sprint planning, we are ensuring that the work is prioritized, understood, and committed to, providing structure and direction for the iterative development process. Number 3, agile scheduling practices can lead to quicker delivery of project value. But think about that. Delivering of value happens in increments in the world of agile because agile is iterative and incremental. So this is true. Agile scheduling, with its focus on short iterations and delivering work in increments, often leads to quicker delivery of tangible project value by continuously releasing valuable features. Stakeholders see benefits sooner. When you really boil down what happens in Agile, it becomes very clear that if you want to get value into the hands of the customer in a timely fashion, think Agile. Number 4, true or false? Agile methodologies disregard the importance of schedule management. The answer to this is, of course, false. We do not disregard any area of project management. Agile methods do not disregard schedule management, they approach it differently. Instead of a fixed long term schedule, Agile focuses on managing time within short, fixed length iterations, which we call sprints, and adapting the scope to fit the time box, ensuring predictable delivery cycles. The final question, true or false? Flexibility in scheduling is one of the strengths of the Agile approach. Well, when you think about what Agile is, of course, right, we're flexible to a very large degree. Flexibility in scheduling is a significant strength in the world of Agile. It allows teams to respond to changing requirements, market conditions, and feedback by adjusting priorities and planning incrementally, ensuring the project remains relevant and valuable. Now that we're done with that, my friends, why don't we move into the world of questions? All right. A critical integration activity is exceeding even pessimistic estimates. The team shows signs of burnout and milestone dates are at risk. Several sister projects depend on your interfaces. What is the best response? Is it A, add people to late tasks now to compress duration, accepting coordination, overhead, and possible efficiency loss? Is it B, reassess remaining work and identify root causes, adjust the baseline with stakeholders as needed, and explore scope refinements or parallel path? Is it C, require mandatory overtime until the activity recovers, emphasizing the urgency of meeting the current schedule? Or is it D, update the plan with a longer duration and inform stakeholders of the revised completion date without further changes? I'll give you some time to think about this. All right, do hit the pause button if you need more time. I'm about to reveal the answer. So, when you take a look at this, what is the underlying problem? The underlying problem is an activity is exceeding even pessimistic estimates. That means it's worse than the worst estimate. You understand that in the world of project management, we have the PERT formula, 4 MOPS divided by 6. What do I mean by that? 4M plus O plus P divided by 6. 4 times most likely plus optimistic plus pessimistic divided by 6. And that gives you your estimate, right? For a beta distribution situation where there's historical information. Otherwise, it's just P plus M plus O divided by 3. You got to know all that stuff. So that's really what the question means when it says pessimistic estimates, because we got most likely, we've got optimistic. So this is exceeding the worst. As a result, you should take action. The team showing burnout, and we got dates that are at risk. So what do? A, add people to late tasks to compress duration, accepting coordination. So when you think about this, is that a good thing to do, to just throw bodies at a task, just throw a bunch of people at a task, as they say? The team is showing signs of burnout. Adding more people to the mix may not be the most intelligent thing to do because the team is going to have to get them caught up to speed. So, A is not a sensible thing, right? Accepting efficiency loss when the team is already burnt out is further risk. B, reassessing the remaining work and identifying what's causing it is a good first step. Adjusting the baseline with stakeholders as needed, you're going to have to do that anyway. And exploring scope refinement sounds wise. When we talk about exploring parallel paths, it means fast tracking and fast tracking doing things in parallel that should have been done sequentially. So B is not bad. It didn't say we're going to do it, it just said we'll explore it. So when you think about it, you've really considered some form of schedule adjustment. C is requiring mandatory overtime. So overtime, that's crashing, a form of crashing. Again, it may not help. Requiring overtime until the activity recovers. And then the team's already burnt out. Not a good idea. And D, update the plan with the longer duration and inform stakeholders of the revised completion date. You don't just push out a project without having a discussion with your stakeholders. Remember, as a project manager, when you're reading these questions, understand that you're either a project manager or someone associated with the project. So, you don't just update the plan. Taking a look at all of these, my friends, the most sensible option is B. Improve the plan using method appropriate controls, analyze the causes, adjust collaboratively, coordinate with dependencies, and explore sustainable options rather than forcing overtime or passively accepting delay. With that said, my friends, we're on to the final piece, and that's where we take a look at this task 6, plan and manage schedule. So, we've already taken a look at PMBOK 6, and planning the schedule is one part. Managing the schedule is all encompassing all throughout the project, all throughout the time box. So, estimate project tasks, use benchmarks and historical data. Remember, before this, we talked about developing a project management plan, which will contain a schedule management plan, which will guide all these things. Prepare the schedule based on the methodology, which is really your project management plan. Measure ongoing progress based on the methodology, which is done in control schedule, and modify the schedule as needed, which is done in, again, control schedule. Coordinate with other projects and operations. So these are no-brainer things you should be thinking about. So when you get options on the exam, you have to very wisely choose. Don't jump into crashing or fast tracking, but instead try to understand what exactly the question is asking. Okay. Well, that's all for today, my friends. Thank you for joining me. If you've enjoyed this, smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.